Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Agoracom, in which we take the time to speak to small cap executives after important news has come out. With us today for the second time, Jacob Cohen of Venom Extracts. That's the 100% subsidiary of Hollister Biosciences that trades on the CSE under the stock symbol HOLL. Now, normally I'd go into a bit of a description of the company first, but I'm going to go right into their financials because you got to know what they're doing. They just put out their Q3 numbers for the period ending September 30th, okay? Descriptions aside, this is what counts. Record revenue, $12.5 million versus $236,000 for the same quarter last year. That's a 5,200% increase. EBITDA, $1.265 million. That compares to a loss last year of $362,000. And Venom, which is, Jake's baby, achieved its first revenue milestone, generating in excess of $30 million year to date starting January 1st, 2020. So if you haven't figured out, Hollister is a vertically integrated multi-state cannabis company. They got multiple high-quality products. They're carried in 280 of California's 60 dispensaries and 80 dispensaries throughout Arizona. Jake, welcome to the show, man.
How are you, buddy? Good to be on again.
Hey, great to have you. And I love the fact that we always get you on the fly because you're always working. Where are you right now? So people know why you've got the COVID diaper on.
I'm standing out front of our production facility at the moment right now, just trying to squeeze this interview in while we have a crazy Friday. Fridays are typically the busiest days of the week.
And we love that you're with us, buddy. We love what you're with us. Big news. Prop 207. That's the approval of recreational cannabis in Arizona, legalizing cultivation, sale, and consumption of recreational cannabis. As a pioneer, first of all, forget about CEO or anything like that, but as a pioneer in this industry, how do you feel to see Prop 207 get approved?
Honestly, it's amazing it got approved. I mean, I was around the last time that the vote went through and it failed or didn't pass. It barely didn't pass the last time. We put a lot of energy, our brand, other brands, a lot of dispensaries put a lot of time, money, and energy just really educating the public on why this would be a good play for our state, how it's going to help contribute in tax dollars and, kind of the whole nine there. And we worked really hard to get this passed and we won in a landslide vote. So it's absolutely huge news for us.
You, as the CEO of Venom Extracts, you've been known as one of Arizona's premier extract brands, one of the state's largest producers of award-winning medical cannabis, distillate, and related products. You've been on the medical side. How fast can you transition to recreational, assuming you are going to, but I'm assuming you are. How does that transition look like for you to add that on to what you're doing?
Well, so in Arizona, the recreational actually really only applies to the patient. So you have a medical market, you have a rec market. So if you are a medical card holder, when you shop at your dispensary, you don't pay the taxes that a recreational person would pay.
Okay.
So the medical market and the rec market, the really big separation between the two is just the taxes that you spend once you purchase the product. So we'll be in the rec market day one as soon as I think April 1st, 2021 is when rec officially hits in Arizona, and we'll officially be in rec and medical that day.
Man, okay, I love the speed. I love that speed, and that you gave us that distinction because I thought you had to go through a whole new process. You're already there. You're in 80 dispensaries right now in Arizona. How fast do you think your product's going to make its way onto the shelves? Not in terms of date, because I know you're going to be there April 1st, but are you already talking to these dispensaries and saying, all right, let's get 1, 2, 3, 5 new SKUs on there? What's the plan?
I mean, the plan right now is buy. I mean, we're trying to turn all of our liquid capital into product. I mean, our goal is to really have a nice arsenal of backstock product ready to go come April 1, once rec finally hits, because we want the product on the shelf ready to deliver to the patient and the customer right away. We don't want to have to lose any time making the product. So the next 6 months before rec hits, we'll be spending time just doing nothing but accruing the biomass and backstocking as much product as we can. We expect it to be lights out. I mean, when COVID hit again, business skyrocketed, and COVID's going to kind of propel us now into this rec period. And you don't think you can get much bigger with the COVID numbers, but now that rec's passed, we're anticipating tripling, or not tripling, if not quadrupling numbers that we're doing now.
Hey, does your reputation and Venom, both you and Venom's reputation, your existing relationships, does that give you a massive advantage on the dispensary side, which it sounds like it, but also on the consumer side, because they're already aware of the Venom brand? It's already out there.
Absolutely. I mean, Venom already out here is one of, I mean, I don't want to say we're the biggest known brand. I mean, I really believe that we are the biggest known brand. I mean, as far as revenue goes, we move more product than most of the brands out here. We have a very, our model is to push quantity. We're a very well-known, prestigious brand as is, and I think Venom is the perfect rec brand. And honestly, I've been saying it for years. The demographic that rec is going to attract is going to be more of that younger age consumer, and Venom appeals to that younger age consumer. It appeals the recreational or the end user for what will be the recreational user fits right into our patient base, right into the category of males and females and age groups that we currently serve right now. So we're expecting to see a huge increase in sales just based off that alone.
Hey, Jake, are you going to be using the same brand, Venom, for the rec side as well? Or are you going to create a different brand or a derivative like Venom X or something like that? What kind of branding? Have you thought about branding strategy yet on the rec side?
So same thing like we kind of talked about. Rec and medical, the only real difference is just going to be to the patient based on the tax dollars they spend. Venom will remain the brand. Venom X is currently our cart brand. We do have intentions of launching a Venom higher end brand that will appeal to more to some of these higher end recreational users. I mean, right now the market's split between probably about an 80%, 20% split. You have about 80% of people that want to get the best value for their money. And then you have about 20% of people that don't care what they pay. They want to get the best product available. So with rec now hitting, we're going to try to corner not only the 80% of the market that we've been focusing on, but we're going to go after 100% of the market. And we're going to introduce a few new products, a few high-end lines, kind of whip out the full arsenal, the full playbook here. I mean,
Venom
we've been waiting for rec. Yeah, Venom Platinum, Venom Elite. There's so many names we're already throwing back and forth. I mean, we've been waiting for this day for 4 years now. So now that it's finally here, we got 6 months to prep for it and make sure we're first in line when April 1st comes rolling around.
Man, and I'll tell you why that's exciting, because I had a question lined up here, but and I'm still going to ask you, but I know the answer already, because my question was going to be, all right, how are you going to deal with the inevitable increase in competition? George Go Cannabis and all these guys for sure are going to start popping up. But Jake, from the sounds of it, and yes, I'm assuming there's going to be increased competition, but it sounds like you guys have been planning for this for 4 years, and you've already got a fantastic brand that's doing $30 million in revenue. So it's going to be really hard for new competitors to really get an edge on you, isn't it?
It's going to be really challenging for new people coming into the market. You're coming into a market, like you said, that's already existing. You know what I mean? It's no different than trying to make the next Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is already that well-known brand. Someone comes in with a new cola, how well can it do with Coca-Cola already on the shelf? So, I mean, we, as of right now, sales wise are the top brand in the state. So, I mean, yes, you're 100% right. When people hear rec, it's like they found a state that's got gold to mine in it. And you start seeing people come out of the woodworks and throwing money at grows and labs, whatever they can, thinking they're going to make a fortune. But it's an uphill battle for someone just starting. And you said it earlier in the talk, we're the pioneers of this industry. We are the first people in it, and it's going to be really hard for newcomers to come in and establish a name with existing brands like ourselves already on the shelves and already so well known.
Man, just listen to you say that, I gotta tell you, it really gets me jacked up on what you guys are going to be able to do. That's really amazing. Let me ask you a question. This is supposed to, anytime you see these kind of legalizations take place, it's supposed to, reduce, or you're never going to get rid of, but definitely reduce black market. So, devil's advocate, do you think this will make a real dent in black market?
Absolutely. I really do think it's going to make or take a huge dent out of the black market. We look at other states for kind of comparisons. California, when they went rec, it really put a dent in their black market sales. I mean, black market, let's face it, will never go away, unfortunately. There's always going to be some sort of black market, somebody out there. I mean, especially now with the rec law, patients are going to be able to grow a few of their own plants. I mean, there's always going to be somewhat of a black market,
Sure,
but this should eliminate easily 3/4 of it. I mean, the ease of being able to just go to a dispensary and purchase product on a whim whenever you'd like versus having to wait, on whoever's providing your product. It's just so much more convenient for the patient now to go and shop, not to mention that dispensaries offer deals. It's our job as a company to make sure that we provide the best product we can to the dispensaries. It's the dispensary's job to make sure that they maintain that patient. So in doing so, dispensaries offer promotion, first time patient deals, things like that. So not only is it going to be more convenient for them to go to the dispensary, but they're going to get more bang for their buck. They're going to go visit all these dispensaries and get free ounces, free quarters.
Right.
They're going to get a lot of these freebies that dispensaries are throwing at them. And Venom's going to be one of the brands too that is offering first time patient deals. We have so much that we're going to be doing just to attract this rec market. And again, based on the statistics we're looking at, you're not likely to see your 60, 70-year-old person as a rec user. Those are your medical users. The rec users you're expected to see are, your 18 to 24-year-old range, your college student,
Right.
people freshly out of college. And right now, that is our biggest piece of the market.
And there's a safety side, right, Jake, which is if I know I'm buying Venom Brand rec cannabis, I know it's not going to be laced with fentanyl or something with all the tragedy out there.
Huge.
So that's got to be huge, right? Like if I don't personally use cannabis, but if I'm 18 to 24 and I want to, something off the street versus walking into a dispensary, seeing the brand, grabbing it, that's got to be a huge advantage for you.
It's a huge advantage because again, along with Prop 207 passing, not sure how many people are familiar with this, but Arizona just passed the legalization of testing that was mandated November 1st. So now all product prior to being sold to the dispensary has to be tested for potency, for residual solvents, for heavy metals, for pesticides, for microbials, for mycotoxins, for anything that could potentially be harmful for that patient. So again, you said it best, people on the black market, I don't know if you recall the vape scare probably a year or so ago where they were cutting carts with the vitamin E and people were getting sick.
Yep.
Now that Arizona is not only recreational, but now that Arizona's got mandated testing as well, that rec patient's going to be able to go into a dispensary and know that they're purchasing clean medicine for themselves. Know that whatever they're buying that day, it's been tested, and it's got the green light from the state to make sure that they can smoke it and they can be safe.
Hey, Jake, last question. Now that Prop 207's gone through, so you've already, got doing so well on the medical side. It sounds like cannabis, I mean, the rec side is you're going to dominate. Where do you see the company 3 years from now? I'm not talking in terms of revenue because I don't want you to make projections. You're not allowed, technically as a small cap company, you can't do that. But where do you see the company in terms of, do you have any doubt about its dominance in the marketplace?
Not at all.
In Arizona?
Not at all. And I mean, it's been a fun ride, and I don't want to sound cocky at all, because it's been honestly nothing but hard work, not only from myself but from our entire team. Our entire team invests body, mind, and spirit into this business. I mean, we work overtime. We don't leave until the job is done. I mean, there's a lot of companies in this
Wow.
sector out here that they're 9 to 5 companies. They punch in at 9, the second 5 o'clock rolls out, they're out of there. They don't worry about their work, versus we don't go home until the work's done. That's, oh, go ahead.
And
Sorry.
that's especially true, I got to tell you, for a lot of the the phase one cannabis superstars, all the glitz, all the money, all the promotion, but they just didn't get the work done, man. They didn't
Exactly.
get the work done. And there's Jake, there's the Venom Crew. This is the second time you and I have done an interview, and this is the second time you've done it from your phone, from the operation. You're not sitting in a nice office answering the phone and going home at 5:01. You're cranking it out, man.
And if you remember our last conversation, I think it was actually or it was right around when COVID hit.
Just
I
pre.
believe, right, just pre-COVID. And we talked about, what kind of our growth expectations were back then. And, we were expecting a 10 to 20% growth. We've seen 100% growth. And you've seen record quarters from us 2 times now since we've had
Busting
our
it.
last conversation. I mean, we're absolutely totally killing the marketplace right now. We're the biggest producer of several key products for not only edible companies, but other cartridge companies as well. So if you go into a store, if you don't see Venom on the package, there's a good chance that that oil was made at the Venom production facility. I think right now, based upon our last statistic that we took, we have about 67% of entire market share. So 67% of all products on everyone's shelf, whether it's an edible,
That's
cartridge, or a Venom
diabolical.
packaged product, came from this facility.
Man, that's diabolical. I'm not kidding. For a mass market like that, I had no idea you guys had those kind of numbers. Hats off to
Absolutely
you,
huge
Jake, and your team.
numbers.
I know it's not you, but you're the face of it right now. Man, hats off. And I'm going to say this. I know Alex is watching. I know Carl is watching, and they're awesome guys, right? But you
Yeah.
are the coolest guy in the small cap cannabis space. I'm not just talking about a Hollister. I'm talking about across the board. And I don't mean cool just because you're cool, but you get the job done, man. You work hard, you play hard, you're delivering, and you achieve your first revenue milestone from the acquisition that you did with Hollister, where it's exceeded $30 million already. So man,
it,
you're balling. And I promised you before COVID that when these travel restrictions come off, I will fly to Arizona. I will film from there. We'll do it together because you
I'm
you
looking forward to
deserve that,
giving you a
man.
tour. I'm looking forward to giving you a tour of the facility and doing, yeah, like you said, the next interview at the facility. We could set a nice background of everyone manufacturing behind us. Look real cool.
And they
But
all
no,
deserve the credit.
absolutely. And to your point, like we talked about earlier, it's just been nonstop work. I mean, we work, I can't even describe to you how hard everybody works as a team. And not in our wildest dreams. I mean, when we first started this company, we were nobody. And this was, for almost 5 years now. And we were such a small company. The growth from day one to where we're at now, and to continue to see the growth month by month, week by week. I mean, it's absolutely tremendous. More
Jake,
than
we
any
see
of
it.
us could hope for.
We see it. And, this has been a recovery kind of breather year for the entire cannabis space, but the market sees you. And I think all your hard work is going to get vastly rewarded in the next couple of years, because cannabis isn't going away, not medical, not rec, not extract, none of that. It's only going to
Nope.
get bigger, and the investors are going to come back, and you and I are going to be celebrating together at the Venom facility this time next year. I have very little doubt about that.
Looking forward to that day, my friend. I can promise you, we all see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's what keeps everybody so motivated to continue to work as hard as we're working. I mean, It's not your typical, like we talked about, it's not your typical punch in at 9, punch out at 9:30. It's not your typical 40-hour-a-week job. It requires so much more than that. It requires late night phone calls, late night emails. It requires so much more. And we're all putting that effort in, and that effort's showing results.
Listen, man, I'm an entrepreneur. I started GoreComp from scratch, and man, it's so easy to quit. How many times you're up in the middle of the night, weekends, it's the end of the day, you want to sit down, 4 more phone calls come in. But you know what? This is what separates winners from everybody else. And I'm going to tell you, as a shareholder of Hollister, all kidding aside, man, I'm ecstatic that we've got you on our side, because I know what you guys are going to continue to do until we cross the finish line. So thank you for what you guys do. And thanks for taking time out today. You know, you're working and you popped on your phone so we could do this, and I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing I want to leave off with too is this is more to us than just a job. I wish people could see how tight knit the Venom family is, because this isn't just a job to us. This is a purpose. This is a purpose. This is a mission that we started out day one. We wanted to succeed in, and success is the most important thing to us. And again, like we talked about earlier, we're going to start popping up in more and more states as time goes on. We're going to see revenue in Arizona start to go up more and more and more, especially as rec hits. We're going to start seeing more record quarters. There's a lot of great things to come from this company, and I'm looking forward to the shareholders that get in right now, you know, especially as the price is such a great bargain. I'm looking forward to making those shareholders a lot of money one day.
Hey, from your mouth to the stock market's ears, but I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to. Yell very much. The numbers are going to do all the talking for you. And like for everyone at home, this quarter alone, $12.5 million revenue. That compares to $236,000, 5,200% growth, and most of that's coming from the Venom side, the acquisition. EBITDA $1.265 million. This is for a quarter. If you extrapolate those numbers out with no growth, revenue is going to come in at over $50 million. Just multiply that quarter by 4. This was no fluke quarter, and now you know rec is coming. This is just all medical. EBITDA $1.265 million. Multiplied out by 4. You're going over $5 million in EBITDA. And that's
and
no growth.
Those EBITDA numbers are going to continue to do nothing but go up. Our profit margins are expanding. Our costs, we're starting to find better suppliers. I mean, as a company, we still evolve every day. You know, we're not just doing the same thing every day. We're working with new partners. We're constantly trying to improve our products, our costs on these products, our profit margins, and you're going to start seeing those numbers go way up as well.
Yeah, for people at home don't know this, I'm going to throw you one last beautiful tidbit of it's this financial data, right? These KPIs. Venom is able to produce more product per square foot than its competition. Right? That's all you got to know, right? Lower costs, better efficiency, everything. I mean, that's a company that isn't just muscling its way through. It's thinking its way through, because it's able to get to those efficiencies, right? And muscling your way through is fine as an entrepreneur. That's what a lot of us do. But when you can get down to those kind of metrics, when you produce the most per square foot than your competition, that means you're thinking it and it's showing up. Jake, thanks so much, buddy. Really appreciate
Absolutely.
this.
I appreciate you having me on again. I look forward to the next one. Let's get you out here. Let's get you in this facility, give you a tour, and do the next one, hopefully from our manufacturing plant.
And then tell your guys when I do it. I promise you this, because I'm saying it on the record. I'm going to take you all out for a Greek night. Pick your place. Going to take you out for a Greek night. We're going to have amazing food, amazing time, just so I can show my appreciation to your whole team of everybody there. I don't care how many people you got there. We're going to have an amazing time.
Everyone will love that, I promise. And we're going to make sure we send you home with a nice Venom swag bag. You'll have the hats, the jackets, all
Love
the goodies.
Show me the hat again. Show me the hat again, because it looked awesome.
That's our Venom X hat. So that comes in 3 colors for indica, hybrid, and sativa. So I'm wearing the indica version right now. So that's our Venom X. That's our cart line hat. We got probably 7 or different 8 hats. I got one for every day of the week. So I'm an indica guy today.
Jake, I love your style, man. Much love to you. Businessman, smart, cool, all of it. And you're leading a great team. Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it big time, George. Again, thanks for having me on, buddy. Looking forward to the next one.
You've been watching, or if you're listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, or your favorite podcast site, Jacob Cohen, Venom Extracts, the 100% owned subsidiary of Hollister Biosciences. The company trades on the CSE under the stock symbol HOLL. And for our friends in Europe on Frankfurt under HOB, you've heard, you've listened. If this is the first time you're watching and hearing about the company, get to Agoracom, get to the Hollister Hub. Take a look at the profile page, look at all the information in there, because we know there's a lot to absorb here, but man, it is great stuff. And then get over the Hollister site, do your due diligence. I can't tell you what to do, but I do know this: the cannabis industry as a whole is going to do nothing but grow this decade. I know investors have been let down with what happened in cannabis 1.0, a lot of hype, a lot of promotion, a lot of buzz, no follow through. The next, just like the .com bubble burst, and then it gave us LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, and real companies. That's what's going to happen with cannabis in this next phase. And when you got a company doing 12.5 million a quarter, 1.265 EBITDA, guys, that's a real company. You got to do your due diligence. Just don't say I didn't tell you so. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, George. Appreciate you, buddy. Have a great weekend.